Welcome students of grade 8. Today we're going to explain chapter 1, the immune response, cells, organs and molecules, worksheet 3, part A. The objectives we're going to explain are: recognize the immune system, identify the different parts of the immune system, organs, cells and molecules, and list and describe the aspect of the 4 types of cells: monocyte, granulocyte, and lymphocyte B and T. Please prepare your worksheets, a pencil, and a draft paper. Sit in a quiet place, prepare your tools, stay optimistic during study and take notes, watch the video more than once, and ask your teacher for more clarification. There are 3 lines of defense against pathogens. Do you remember what do we call the organs of the first line of defense? Yes, they are the natural barriers, such as tears, excellent, saliva, skin, stomach acid, and cilia. But what if the first line of defense was crossed by a pathogen, as in case of injury when the skin is opened, or in the case of a burned skin? How would the body defend itself? Pathogens can cross natural barriers and get into your body, and here begins the mission of your immune system. But what's the immune system? The immune system is a complex network that defends the body against microbes whenever they enter the body. But what are the different parts of the immune system? So let's remember what every system is made up of. Level of organization of every living thing: organism, system, organ, tissue, and cell. Then, like any other system in our human body, the immune system is made up of organs. In addition, some cells and molecules belong to it. These latter work together to defend the whole body against any pathogen. What's the immune system made up of? Please answer. The immune system is made up of organs, cells, and molecules. Let's watch a video showing the constituents of blood in order to identify the immune cells.
Blood consists of a fluid part called plasma and a cellular part referred to as formed elements. Plasma is a light yellow alkaline fluid that contains 90% water, while plasma constitutes 55 to 60% of blood. Formed elements constitute 40 to 45%. These formed elements are red blood cells or erythrocytes, white blood cells or leukocytes, and blood platelets.
Let's now identify the immune cells. Pick out from the figure the constituents of blood present in blood vessels. Excellent. White blood cells, red blood cells, plasma, and platelets. Do all cells act in immunity? Of course not. Which cells are called immune cells? Great, it's white blood cells. Only white blood cells belong to the immune system. Then, what are the white blood cells? Where do we find them? What's their function? Do they have more than one type? Let's find out. The white blood cells in blood belong to the immune system and are the main actors of the immune system. They find the pathogen once it enters the body and immediately kill and eliminate it. Then, what are the main characteristics of white blood cells? First, why are red blood cells colored red? Why white blood cells not? Red blood cells are red because they have hemoglobin, which carry oxygen in the blood, while white blood cells lack hemoglobin. So, white blood cells are colorless because they lack hemoglobin. How can white blood cells defend the body in different tissues and organs? Can they cross the blood capillary? If yes, how? White blood cells can change their shape easily. This is the second characteristic. Then the first characteristic was it's colorless. The second, it can change its shape easily, which allows them to squeeze through walls of the blood capillaries into the intercellular space. The third characteristic. The figure below shows different types of white blood cells. What do all white blood cells have in common? Please answer. Yes, they all have nucleus. Then, all white blood cells or nucleated cells have a nucleus. Compare the shape of nucleus. Please answer. They have multi-lobed shape. Others have horseshoe-shaped nucleus. Others have rounded nucleus. Then the nucleus in white blood cells have irregular shape. It means not the same in all leukocytes. The third characteristic then, leukocytes are nucleated cells with irregular shaped nucleus. Then, the fourth characteristic of white blood cell. Please compare the number of white blood cells to that of red blood cells. Yes, white blood cells are few, while red blood cells are many. Then, white blood cells are fewer than red blood cells. Compare their sizes. Please pay attention. Red blood cells are small, while white blood cells are big. Then, white blood cells are bigger in size than white blood cells. Hence, white blood cells are fewer but much bigger in size than red blood cells. Then, the main characteristics of white blood cells are: white blood cells are colorless. White blood cells can squeeze and change their shape easily. White blood cells have irregular shape of a nucleus. White blood cells are fewer but much bigger than red blood cells. We talked before about the characteristics of white blood cells. But how many types of white blood cells are there? Remember that white blood cells are called leukocytes also, or immune cells. There are many types of leukocytes that differ by their shape, size, and function. The main types of leukocytes are summarized in the adjacent concept map. Please list the three main types of white blood cells. Excellent, they are granulocyte, lymphocyte, and monocyte. Referring to the figure, indicate how you can distinguish between these three types. Excellent, from the shape of their nuclei. Let's first talk about monocyte. What's the shape of its nucleus? Monocyte is a white blood cell having a horseshoe-shaped nucleus. This is the horseshoe, and this is the horseshoe-shaped nucleus of monocyte. The second type is granulocyte. Let's observe its nucleus. It has a multi-lobe shaped nucleus, which means the nucleus is segmented into two or more connected lobes. Here is the first granulocyte having 3 lobes. May you count here the lobes? Yes, it has 2 lobes. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lobes. The third type of leukocyte is lymphocyte. The shape of the nucleus is round. Lymphocyte has round nucleus. There are 2 types of lymphocytes, B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte, both having a round nucleus. Match each cell to the description that fits its nucleus. Please solve. Monocyte has a horseshoe-shaped nucleus, while B lymphocyte has a round nucleus. Granulocyte has a multi-lobed nucleus, and T lymphocyte has a round nucleus. Match each cell to the shape of its nucleus. Please observe, this is a round nucleus, while this is a horseshoe-shaped nucleus, while this has a multi-lobed nucleus of 2 lobes. Then monocyte has a horseshoe-shaped nucleus, B lymphocyte has a round nucleus, granulocyte has a multi-lobed nucleus, and T lymphocyte has a round nucleus. Let's make a quick summary about what we've taken today. White blood cells or leukocytes are of 3 main types having different shapes of nuclei. Monocyte has horseshoe-shaped nucleus. Granulocyte has a multi-lobed nucleus. Lymphocyte has a round nucleus. And finally, don't forget your assignment. This is all. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Study well and keep safe.